Look, watch!
Juvenile.
Use the forget-me stick.
Oh, right.
Myself personally, I love villains. I've loved them since I was a kid. And they always have interesting lines, interesting personas, interesting costumes, gadgets. And it always seems like the villain's world is the most fun.
In the early brainstorming stages of the film, the Megamind team had the task of fleshing out the looks for Megamind. Ideas range from Frankenstein-inspired designs to high-tech evil lords.
How do I look, Minion? Do I look bad?
Disgustingly horrifying, sir.
Most characters start with just a pencil sketch. This was actually the first pencil sketch of Megamind that I used. He was definitely very villainous and very harsh in his features, and obviously wasn't a character that we could really sympathize with as a main character.
What on earth is that?
Tom's vision really was to set up, of course, Megamind as the protagonist of the film. And so we spent a lot of time figuring out how he was going to approach being a villain and the theatrical nature of it.
It's time to go down with style.
You know, really sharp, pointy features are something that you see in villains, and it could be taken less of an approachable character versus someone with a lot of soft, round shapes are typically features that are found in more endearing characters. So we went softer with his features, and we went friendlier, bigger eyes.
Eventually, the team settled on a look that captured both the showmanship and heart of their criminal genius.
It's destiny.
My approach was, let's have Alice Cooper versus Elvis Presley. And to take these superheroes and put them on a rock star-like status and put them on stage, and they know how to play the stage. And so we have rock and roll versus country with Metro Man with his fringe glory and Megamind with his leather and spikes.
Knew that Megamind was going to be a character who loved to dress up. He loves the art of villainy. You know, that's a big part of why he got into it. So his costumes were always going to be a huge part of creating his character.
That's a pretty tasteless costume.
So Megamind's look was basically a little blue guy who's trying to look scary. So there's a lot of black leather and spikes. It's the only way he has to really be scary. So he has to intimidate people with his wardrobe. And he definitely likes to dress up for work. He basically has the wardrobe of Elton John and the moves of Mick Jagger. We thought it was hilarious anyway.
Once Megamind was dressed in the perfect villainous attire, the filmmakers knew they had to make his lair look the part as well.
There's no place like evil Lair.
It's pretty tricky to pull off a villain's tale, because if he's a bad guy, you want stuff to look menacing, but you also don't want it to be too frightening. So we went into the sort of ridiculous land of Megamind's theatrical design, which is everything has spikes, there's lots of chrome. His idea of what really scary is, so it has the sort of the language of evil. But of course, it has a sort of, you know, hot rod charm to it.
This is a very wickedly bad idea.
You can look at Megamind's Lair as sort of an extension of his personality. It's incredibly cluttered. It's very theatrical, up to the point where there's actually almost a stage where he builds his huge idea wall. Everything with him is just a little bit too far.
What's this? Boom! In your face.
It's fun to work on the instruments of villainy that Megamind has because it's all rock and roll motif. So everything about Megamind, from his own outfit to all his robots and all his inventions, echo that.
Did you miss your daddy? Who's a menacing little cyborg? You are, yes you are. No biting.
Basically, everything that he had to be either found or repurposed or just generally hacked together a little bit like a hot rod mechanic. So his stuff, you'll see, will have a lot of familiar objects in it. There's the evidence of failed projects and designs. As a supervillain, you naturally accumulate a lot of stuff in your garage from, you know, the things that don't work. And he's got side projects going on. You see snippets of legs of giant robots and bomb sharks and things that you would need to potentially conquer a superhero.
Ready the death ray, Minion.
Death ray readying.
From brainbots to ray guns to boot wheels, every gadget in Megamind's lair has an element of garage-style design.
Bring out the Black Mamba.
One of the filmmaker's favorite creations is Megamind's robot suit, which was used to battle Titan in the Old West-style showdown.
I hear there's a new hero who dares challenge my evil.
We were just sketching one night and thought like, hey, this robot should be different from other battle robots in movies. Let's give it spurs and big horns and make it look like a giant cowboy, you know, because that's in Megamind's world.
Megamind's giant robot has massive blades that come out of the shoulders along with speakers to play AC/DC and a fireworks display. It has a lot of silly charm.
But perhaps Megamind's most successful creation of all is his friend and confidant, Minion.
This has been the worst day of my entire life.
Oh, no worries.
Behind every great villain is a good lackey, and our lackey is Minion. And Minion is the nuts and bolts guy. So all the devices, Minion's the guy who knows how to build everything.
Nice work sending me the watch, Minion.
You got it, boss.
Minion originally, in the very early designs, he was this stout, short little human type character. And when Tom came onto the project, he got this idea about this alien fish head with this big mechanical body.
Good luck with that one.
Minion in Tom's mind was always sort of a creature of science, where it was a combination of something that was organic and something that really said something about who Megamind was as an engineer. And it started as a normal robot, and then we thought it would be funny if it was more like an animal. And so we went through this progression of, should it be a gorilla body with a fish tank head, or should it be a robotic version of a gorilla? And so there's all these different phases that we went through. He's the henchman, he's the best friend, so he has to play all these roles. So if you make him too villainous, he's not approachable. So it's finding that cute and villain balance.
What?
Oh, you look fantastic.
Megamind has this incredible arsenal of equipment and weaponry.
Olo.
But I think his biggest weapon is his heart. It's his sheer will to do the right thing when he realizes he's made a horrible mistake, to right it. And I think that that's equal to all the gadgets that he has.
Now hand over your wallets. I'm just kidding. Yes!